have to end this program. And there's not a better way to say goodbye until next year than with everyone's favorite song, Deck the Halls.
Deck the halls with boughs of holly, la 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 la. 'Tis the season to be jolly, la 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 la. Don we now our gay apparel, la 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 la. Join the ancient Yuletide carol, la 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 la.
Christmas program is it? Christmas program need to sing all together. That's how it's gonna end, my golly. Open this curtain. You need to keep your playhouse on again. And all of you kidding.
Deck the halls with boughs of holly, la 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 la. 'Tis the season to be jolly, la 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 la. Don we now our gay apparel, la 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 la. Join the ancient Yuletide carol, la 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 la.
Merry Christmas. Thanks for coming. Thanks for coming.
That's more like it. Come on, let's go home. I'm Grandpa. You're dead. You can't do your dead.
Wait. The curtain's opening again. It's not over yet. Come on.
Go back. She says you touch her, you're dead.
We just couldn't end our program without remembering the true meaning of Christmas.
Davy and the First Christmas. Let's pretend there was a boy, and Davy was his name. His family lived in Bethlehem when Christmas time first came.
Davy had a special pet, a donkey small and gray, and what the two of them did best was getting in the way.
Davy named the donkey Tim. He never rode him, though. Either Tim was built too high, or Davy was too low.
Davy's father had an inn where people came to stay, and lots of them were coming there one day. His father was as busy as 6 or 7 bees, so Davy said, "I want to help. Can't I do something, please? Tim would like to help you too. Find a job for us to do."
Listen, son, his father said. Last week you broke 3 jugs, scaring my 2 best customers with your pet lightning bugs. You tracked in mud on my clean floor, you tripped and dropped the bread, and though I love the fish you caught, why leave him on my bed? I put up with your helpfulness as long as I am able. So do me one big favor now. Get out and clean the stable.
stable door. It hardly seemed that anyone could clean that dirty floor. He and Tim both felt so bad they started in to cry. But then, thought Davy, yes, we can. Well, anyhow, let's try.
First, let's chase those chickens out. That's what we've got to do. So Tim began to flap his ears while Davy shouted, shoo.
The chickens clucked and flew and ducked. They fluttered wild and scary until their feathers filled the air like snow in January.
Yes, Davy chased those chickens out, he and Tim together, but Naomi had to get a sack and pick up every feather.
You should have seen how hard they worked. They stacked up all the wheat. They straightened up the harnesses so they are nice and neat. They fought with spiders bravely till they chased out every bug, and since we must admit the truth, they broke another jug.
The biggest job of all was stacking up the hay. Davy climbed up to the loft and put it all away. Look, Tim, you see how high it is? I'll make just one more trip. Then clear up by the stable roof, his feet began to slip.
Down came the hay and Davy too. The stable looked so clear. All you could see was piles of hay, one sandal, and one ear.
Slowly they came out on top, and Davy didn't whine. The hay was stuck out all over him, just like a porcupine.
He put the hay all back again and stacked it up with care, but left one armload down below to fill the manger.
So Davy's work was done at last, and when it all at me, he picked some flowers to trim the barn, and some for Tim to eat.
I hope it's clean enough, he thought. At least I did my best. And feeling very, very tired, I curled up for a rest.
Who woke up Davy from his sleep? Just guess him if you can. Mary was the woman's name. Joseph was her maid.
And Mary said, "Oh, Joseph, look, this is a lovely place." And seeing Davy there, she said, with such a shining face, "Your father's inn had no more room. Tonight we're staying here. So now, are you the one who cleaned the stable, dear?"
And did your donkey help you work? We want to thank him too. Though Davy still was half asleep, his heart was glad clear through.
So that is how a little boy, 2,000 years ago, stayed on to hear the angels sing and see the star glow. As soon as baby Jesus came to use the manger bed, and Davy's sack of feathers made a pillow for his head.
No one told Davy anymore that he was in the way. His work had helped get ready for the world's first Christmas day.
That's okay.
Excuse me.
Going up, I guess.
There's Ivy tonight, huh? Hey! Hey! Let's see it. Is that for me?
Yes, Dad.
I don't think so, not.
Thanks. This is Santa Claus. Is this the same Santa we had last year?
I can't remember who we had.
Or did he gain any weight? Hey.
For you too.
Well, thanks.
Two things for you.
Thank you.
Good job.
Give her a kiss, man. Give her a Christmas kiss. Come on. Don't you... Do you need some?
Okay, I'll remember that.
Oh, boy, you had your chance, too.
That ain't due till the 1st of the next January, is it? Once a month, whether you use it or not.
You change your mind on here.
Where's Mom, Dad? Where's Mom?
Well, she should be here.
Excuse me, Joe.
Excuse me.
Stand by Santa while Michelle takes your picture. We'll stand by Santa while Michelle takes your picture. Okay?
I'm serious. That was good.
Got everybody, Joe?
I think so. Well, a person wants to get everybody, you know.
Don't want to miss anything.
Huh? What do you think? You want me to go start your car? How you doing, Solomon?
Smile, try smile, try smile.
they'll all be gone by the time I get to it. Where'd Joe go?
We do commercials.
Wait
Who's
till you
the...
took the baby home.
How come?
She was screaming.
I didn't hear them.
Well, you got
I couldn't hear the baby.
Don't. You and a family sitting on Santa's back.
My dad likes the way she was his big truck.
Oh, isn't that nice?
Yeah. Uncle Dick got a Ford.
What do you want, Cole?
Just like, have you ever seen?
Oh, geez. That sounds nice.
What'd you do? Forget what you wanted? He thinks of a lot more stuff when he's home, don't he? Better thanks, Santa. Gene, what do you want for Christmas?
A car that runs.
Yeah, sure. We like to have fun. I've seen you hang a kite. One kid, you're hanging Jesus.
Huh?
You can catch me eating something.
I will. Hey, I think Michael ought to play Santa Claus next year. No, I'm just teasing.
where's that baby?
They took the baby home. They didn't want nobody touching it.
Yeah, we didn't share. We didn't share your baby.
Give me one.
Huh?
Nobody likes that.
She's been walking all over.
Can you walk? Now she's tired. Are you tired? Huh? Oh!
One step.
Why she knows that camera?
Is that good? Come on, you can do better than that, can't you? One more step.
Oh, big girl. So big girl.
No.
We get a little bit of. The pretty can.
Oh.
I'm gonna walk in front of you, Joe.
Your own kids aren't cute enough, are they?
Hey.
Hi, Joe.
Toward the camera. Hi, camera.
Good night.
I don't want to show off.
Good night, Doc.
Hello, goodbye.
Goodbye, it's been so long doing a Happy New Year to all of you. What a dream. That was perfect. You know what? I'm going to make this the very best Christmas pageant ever, and I'm going to do it with the Herdmans. After all, they raised their hands, and nobody else did, and that's that. pageant rehearsals. We had our first pageant rehearsal on Wednesday. First pageant rehearsal was about as much fun as a 3-hour ride on the school bus. And just about as noisy and crowded. But this one was different. Everyone settled down and shut up right away, fear of missing something awful that the Herdmans might do. Mother started to separate everyone into shepherds and angels and guests at the end, but she ran into trouble.
Who were the shepherds? Where did they come from?
What's a shepherd?
What was in? What's an inn?
It's like a motel. It's a place where people spend the night.
What people? Jesus?
Oh, honestly, Jesus wasn't even born yet. Mary and Joseph went there.
Why?
What happened first? Get into the beginning.
You see, the Herdmans didn't know anything about the Christmas story. They knew that Christmas was Jesus' birthday, but that was all they knew. The star, the stable, the crowded inn was all news to them. They had never went to church in their whole lives until Charlene told them about the refreshments. And all we ever learned in school about this Christmas story is how to make ornaments out of aluminum foil. So how would they know about the Christmas story? Well, they might have read about it, but the only thing that they ever read were amazing comics. They might have heard about it on TV, but Ralph paid 65 cents for their TV at a garage sale, and you couldn't see anything on it unless someone held onto the antenna. Even then, you couldn't see much. And the only other way they could have heard about it was from their parents. And I guess Mr. Herdman never got around to it before he climbed on the railroad train. And it was obvious that Mrs. Herdman had given up on ever trying to tell her kids anything. So they just didn't know. And Mother said she'd better begin by reading this Christmas story out of the Bible. That was a pain in the neck for most of us, because we knew the story frontward and backward. And all we ever needed to know was who we were supposed to be and where we were supposed to stand. Okay, everyone, just sit down and listen, and I'll read the story to you. Joseph and Mary, his espoused wife, being great with child.
Pregnant!
Well, Dad stirred things up. All the big kids started giggling, and all the little kids wanted to know what was so funny. And Mother had to hammer on the floor with a blackboard pointer.
That's enough, Ralph.
When Mother read about there being no room in the crowded inn, Imogene's jaw dropped open, and she sat up in her chair.
My gosh, not even for Jesus?
Well, now, they didn't know the baby was going to come out to be Jesus.
You said Mary knew. Why didn't she tell them?
Yeah. I would have told them. Boy, would I have told them. What was the matter with Joseph that he didn't tell them? Her pregnant and everything?
What was that thing, baby, in that manger? Is that like a bed? Why would they have a bed in the barn?
That's just the point. They didn't have a bed in the barn, so they had to use whatever there was. What would you do if you had a new baby and no bed to put it in?
We put Gladys in a dresser drawer.
Well, there you are. You didn't have a bed for Gladys, so you had to use something else.
Oh, we had a bed, but Ollie was still in it, and he wouldn't get out. Ollie didn't like Gladys.
Anyway, Mary and Joseph used a manger. A manger is a large wooden feeding trough for animals.
Teddy, Teddy, Teddy.
What were the waterproof clothes? The what?
You read about it.
She wrapped her in waterproof clothes. Swaddling clothes. Long ago, people used to wrap their babies in big pieces of material so they couldn't move around. It made the babies feel cozy and comfortable. I thought it probably just made the babies feel mad. Till then, I didn't know what swaddling clothes were either, and they sounded terrible. So I wasn't too surprised when Imogen got excited about them.
You mean they tied him up and put him in a feed box? Where was the child welfare?
You see, the child welfare was always checking up on the Herdmans. I'll bet if child welfare ever found Gladys all tied up and put in a dresser drawer, they would have done something about it. And lo, the angel of the Lord came upon them, and the glory of the Lord shone around them, and
Shazam!
what?
Out of the black of the night. Horrible vengeance. For mighty Marcel.
I don't know what you're talking about, Gladys. This is the angel of the Lord who visits the shepherds in the fields, and
Out of the black of the night, right? Out of nowhere, right?
well, in a way. So Gladys sat back down, looking
looking very satisfied with herself, as if this is at least one part of the Christmas program that made sense to her, at least according to Amazing Comics.
Now when Jesus was born in Bethlehem of Judea, behold, there came wise men from the east, saying,
Hey, you! Hey, Leroy Quan Nolly, that's you, so pay attention!
Who were the wise men? Were they like school teachers?
No, dummy, these are the President of the United States. Why, that's very close, Claude. Actually, they were kings.
Well, it's about time. Maybe they'll tell the innkeeper where to get off and get that baby out of the barn.
And when they saw the young child with Mary his mother, they fell down and worshipped him, and presented unto him gifts, gold, frankincense, and myrrh.
What's that stuff?
Precious oils and fragrant resins.
Oil! What kind of a cheap king gives oil for a birthday present? You can get better presents from the Lions Club.
And then we came to King Herod, and the Hermans had never heard of him either. So Mother had to explain. It was him who sent the wise men to find the baby Jesus.
Was it him who sent the crummy presents?
It was worse than that. He planned to have the baby Jesus put to death.
My gosh, he just got born and already they want to kill him. Well, the Hermans wanted to know all about Herod, what he looked like and how rich he was, and whether he fought wars with people.
He must have been the main king if he could make the other three do what he wanted them to.
If I was a king, I wouldn't let some other king push me around.
You couldn't help it if he was a main king.
I'd go be king somewhere else. It's gonna be Herod in this play anyway.
We don't show Herod in our pageant.
Well, that got them all mad. They wanted someone to be Herod so they could beat up on him.
I couldn't understand the Hermans.
You think that the Christmas story came right out of the FBI files, wanting a bloody end to Herod, worried about Mary having her baby in a barn, and they called the wise men a bunch of dirty spies. And they left the first rehearsal arguing about whether Joseph should have just set fire to the inn or chased the innkeeper into the next county. Mother started to separate everyone into angels and shepherds and guests of the inn, but she ran into trouble again. Alice was keeping score.
Gladys Herman drinks communion wine.
It isn't wine, it's grape juice.
I don't care what it is. She drinks it 3 times with her mouth all purple. They steal the crowns of the Sunday school cupboards, too. And if you shake the happy birthday bank in the kindergarten room, it doesn't make a sound. They stole all the pennies out of that. And if you go into the girls' room, the air is all blue, and you see Imogene in her Mary costume smoking cigars.
Our last rehearsal happened to be the night before the potluck supper. And when we got to the church, the kitchen was full of ladies in aprons, counting out dishes and silverware, and making applesauce cake for the dessert.
Now, this is going to be a dress rehearsal. The main point of a dress rehearsal isn't the costume. The main point is to go right straight through without stopping. And that's what we're going to do, just as if we're doing this for the whole congregation. And I'm going to sit in the back of the church and be the audience.
Well, it didn't work that way. The baby angels came in at the wrong time, and then they had to go back out, so we had to start over there. And a whole group of shepherds didn't come at all, for fear of Gladys. And Imogene couldn't find the baby Jesus doll, so she wrapped up this big memorial flower vase, but she dropped it on Ralph's foot.
Oh!
And half the angel choir sang Away in a Manger, while the other half sang A Little Town of Bethlehem. So we had to start over a lot. I've got the baby here. Don't touch him. I named him Jesus.
No! Now, Imogene, you know you're not supposed to say anything. No one says anything in our pageant except the angel of the Lord and the angel choir singing carols. And the wise men and Mary and Joseph just make a pretty picture for us to look at while we think about Christmas and what it means.
I guess Mother had to say things like that, even though we all knew it was a big lie. The Hermans didn't look like anything out of the Bible, more like trick-or-treaters. Imogene even had on these great big gold earrings, and she wouldn't take them off.
Imogene, you know Mary didn't wear earrings.
I have to wear these.
Why is that?
'Cause I just got